first of all, I want to thank you and appreciate for organizing this webinar and inviting all our friends who have worked very hard during last 30-40 years. I have seen Barrister Sultan Mahmood, taking the flag of Kashmir all over the world. And Barrister Saab, it was privilege. I remember those days when we were touring European Union and we were touring United Kingdom, raising the issue of Kashmir throughout the world. So I appreciate this is a very good effort, and I think this is right time now to expose the brutality and atrocities and gross violation of human rights by Indian occupied forces in Jammu and Kashmir, and of course in India. Let me begin by the Kashmiri movement that started in July 13, 1931, Yom-e-Shuhada. The Shuhada of 13 July 1931 were the forefathers of today's Kashmiri resistance, when 89 years ago, 22 Kashmiris were killed for daring to defy the Dogra Raj in the valleys. Today, their descendants have laid down their lives for freedom and continue to valiantly fight and defy the Hindutva supremacist regime bent on demographic engineering to wipe out the Kashmiri people and their identity. Kashmiris have renewed pledge to accomplish the mission of martyrs till achievements of the goal of liberation from Indian aggression. Pakistan has always stood steadfast for the Kashmiri right to self-determination and will continue to support this just struggle. We fear that the massacre in Kashmir, similar to 1995 genocide, you have all witnessed in Srebrenica. I remember when I was a member of parliament in United Kingdom, we launched a campaign, Save the Bosnia campaign in United Kingdom, and raised the issue and the brutality which was unfortunately taking place against the Muslims in there. I think this is very important for people to understand, and it is our job to make it known to the people what is this Article 370 and 35A. So I will briefly let you know, what I understand from this. Indian government that changes Kashmir's special status as a disputed territory, including demographic changes, which is the beginning of the genocide. Corona curfew since last 1 year, no internet or limited internet link to the outside world, 340 plus days military siege. With Indian administered Kashmir's special status repealed, people from the rest of India would have the right to acquire property in Jammu and Kashmir and settle there permanently. Article 370, the article which came into effect in 1949, exempts Jammu and Kashmir state from the Indian constitution. It allows the Indian administered region jurisdiction to make its own law in all matters except finance, defense, foreign affairs, and communication. Article 35A was introduced through a presidential order in 1954 to continue the old provision of the territory regulation under Article 370 of the Indian Constitution. The article permits the local legislature in Indian administered Kashmir to define permanent residents of the region. It forbids outsiders from permanently settling, buying land, holding local government job, or winning education scholarships in the region. So on 5th of August, unfortunately, they have abrogated this 370 and 35A, and after that we know that what kind of brutalities and violation of human rights are taking place. So the Indian government didn't stop there. They went further when they introduced Citizens Amendment Act in India, which exclude Muslims from having access and same provisions as other religion groups under CAA. India is prosecuting national and religious minorities and silencing opposition, human rights groups, and journalists critical of government. So one thing I want to compare, and I think this is what is very important that we tell the world, that what is happening in Pakistan and what is happening with the minorities and with the Muslims in India. You all know that Kartarpur corridor that was a big initiative from Prime Minister Imran Khan, and we opened this Kartarpur corridor in a record time of less than 1 year, because we care about the minority communities in Pakistan. We are spending a lot of money, the government money, to repair and renovate mandir, Sikh Gurdwara, and we are giving full freedom to all our minorities in Pakistan. And on the other hand, what kind of atrocities are taking place in Kashmir, and what is happening with the Muslims and Christians and other minorities in India. So I genuinely believe that Narendra Modi is now on this settlements and change the demographic of Kashmir, is taking lessons from Netanyahu, who I believe he is a terrorist who is killing people in Palestine. And that's what policy is being adopted by the Indian government. So we have to be very vigilant. We have to tell the world that this is what is going to happen, and we are not going to let it happen. And I think there are a lot of positive things that are happening as well in the world. I remember I had the opportunity to go to United States of America, where I met a number of senators, congressmen, governors, and Secretary of State. And one thing I was surprised that they were willing to listen what is happening in Kashmir and what kind of violations are taking place. And they were sympathetic to our cause. Then I went to United Kingdom, and thanks to our parliamentarians in United Kingdom and all those our diaspora who is involved in politics in United Kingdom, they have always highlighted the plight and sacrifices of the Kashmiri people to the politicians, to the trade unionists, and the general public in United Kingdom. That's why we can see strong support in the House of Commons for the people of Kashmir. And then we come to Europe, and I went to European Union in last December, and I had the opportunity to meet at least 40 members of European Parliament. My mission was to visit them about GSP Plus for Pakistan, and also I raised the issue of Kashmir with all those members of European Parliament. And again, I can see that they have the feeling and they know what is happening in India, what the government of India is doing, what the army in occupied Kashmir is killing innocent men, women, and children in Kashmir. So after that, I have seen the big change in the attitude of the European members of Parliament. And 15 members of European Parliament has written a letter to the President of the Commission asking them to stop the brutality and human rights violations in Kashmir. And in fact, they went further. They have raised the concern about the Citizens Amendment Act in India as well. So I think this is now the right opportunity for the friends of Kashmir that we highlight this issue now throughout the world. And now I think the India phase, which people thought about them, it's a secular state, it's a big democracy. Narendra Modi has managed to end this secularism in India, and people all over the world understand and know what's taking place. So now there are senators who are speaking out in favor of Kashmiri people. Joe Biden, who is the presidential candidate in the United States of America, he has spoken out. So I think it's a real opportunity now that we should move forward and we should raise this issue at every platform, at every level. So we have the message to the international community that there has to be some kind of sanctions against India. There has to be some trade sanctions against India, and international community cannot now turn the blind eye and deaf ear to the plight and suffering of the people of Kashmir. And I'm glad that a number of our people and number of our friends in the European Union and in United Kingdom, in America, in Europe are raising this issue. And I think it is very important now. It's a very good time that I'm going to, and I'm already speaking to our members of the National Assembly and senators in Pakistan, that they should now try, and I request the diaspora as well, that where they are living in those countries, they should contact their members of parliament in those countries and request them to establish the group, Friends of Kashmir group, in the parliaments in Europe and other countries. And I think that is going to make a difference. And one thing important, I think, improvement, this is the first time that OIC has now taken the notice what is happening in India and what is happening in Kashmir. And I think we need to focus with our Islamic countries as well, that they should take up this issue with India. And I would request all our parliamentarians and other leading personalities and ask other people that they should write to the head of states and foreign ministers of Islamic world as well, telling them what is going to happen and what is happening in India. We cannot allow India that kind of brutality and atrocity which is taking place in India. And I believe this is a very good initiative. And I'm again thankful to all the participants. And I can assure you that wherever you need my presence, wherever you need our help, Pakistani government and the people of Pakistan are standing shoulder to shoulder with our Kashmiri brothers and sisters at this very difficult testing time. We wish them all the best and we will support them all the way. And now this is a time that international community recognize this brutality and gross violation of human rights and take action now. And I think this is the time now to take action, because nobody believes. To be honest, I tell you, my heart bleeds when I see that, the young children at the age of 15, 16, they are lifted from their house and then in fake encounters, they are killed. This is really very devastating. Nobody can believe that in the 21st century, this kind of brutality can take place, and international community is not speaking out the way international community should act. But this is our job. They are our brother, they are our sister. They are fighting for their freedom. They are fighting for their self-determination. They are fighting for a noble cause. They are fighting for a just cause. And we have to be fully behind them. And again, I can assure you, inshallah, I am planning, as soon as these corona issues are addressed, planning to visit European Union countries and then Britain and United States of America to highlight the plight of the Kashmiri people. Once again, thanks to all the participants. Thanks to Amna for arranging this webinar. And inshallah, I am sure now Narendra Modi, what step he has taken during the last 2-3 years, I think this is going to damage more India than the people of Kashmir. Thank you very much.